Quazi here, and I'm back in my favorite classroom, and today I want to talk to you about rich people versus poor people and the real deep mindsets that separate the two and why the rich get richer and why the poor keep getting poorer. And this video might trigger a lot of you, but the truth can be ugly. So pay attention to this and come into this with an educational mindset to actually learn so you can change your destiny. Before I begin this video, I wanted to quickly announce that I'm doing a free giveaway of my book, Life Mastery. If you want to enroll into a competition to win this book for completely free every single Friday, just comment Life Mastery down below, and we'll be picking one lucky winner to get this book for completely free in the ebook format. And also, I'm super excited to announce that spots have opened up for the free one-to-one consult for the Reality Mastery program. If you're interested, just wait till the end of the video for the announcement on that. And with that, let's get started with this video. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the scarcity and the abundance mindset, and really, what are the core qualities that separate out the rich people from the poor, and really the biggest quality that differentiates both. So before we even get to this video, first of all, I want to tell you that all of this comes from the mirror principle. This is the true principle that actually explains why the rich keep getting richer and why the poor keep getting poorer. Essentially, wealth begins up here. Wealth is really a mindset, okay? Being rich and being poor, it's just all up here. And your internal world starts to get reflected into your external world. People start to think that, whatever's outside is the ultimate truth. It's not. It is just one world. That's the external world. That's what is known as the reflection, right? And what's in here is what's known as the image. The reflection will not smile before the actual image does, right? So you got to become wealthy within here first for it to reflect out into the external world. People say that, it's all about action, it's all about doing, it's all about what you do and what you have. That's not it. It's all about who you are. Anything that you achieve in your life, it's all a result of who you become. Not what you do, not what you focus on having, but rather who you become within. That starts to get reflected. This is why principles of identity shifting, I emphasize so much on that, why the Reality Mastery program is based around that. Anything that creates tangible results is always created in that which is immaterial first. It always starts off in this space, in the mind space. It always starts off as an idea. Then you put it down into paper, you make it a blueprint, and then you execute on it. Right? So that's really how it works. That's always how it starts. If it's not even up here, the idea, the intention won't ever even come up. So forget about achieving the goal. You don't even know what the goal is. What are you supposed to achieve if you don't even know what it is? So if you want to learn about the mirror principle a little bit more, to actually explain why the rich keep getting richer, why the poor keep getting poorer, click up here. But essentially, to summarize that video, to summarize the key understanding from that mirror principle, it's because poor people start to see what's outside and then start to confirm it within them, okay? So they form the internal attitudes. They form their internal world based on the temporary things they're seeing outside them right now. They see poverty, they say, I'm poor, instead of I'm rich, and then look for wealth. Do you see what I mean? What rich people do is, even though they may not be rich, when the poor really become rich, if you look at people who've become rich, it's because they always had the idea, the internal attitude that, I will be rich. And they had faith in that. So when you form the internal world, such as, I am going to earn 20K a month, it's going to happen. Where is proof that this is happening right now? And then they cultivate their internal world, okay? So they look for what they want to see, not what they're seeing, not what they fear seeing. Right? Poor people fear poverty. They look at poverty, they confirm their attitudes. Rich people look at wealth when it comes and ignore the poverty, and then they get richer and richer as a result. So the mirror always consolidates your attitudes you already have. So always remember that. Again, click up here to check that video out. But in this video, I'm going to share with you the two qualities that separates the abundant from those who are in lack. First of all, let's start with poor people. What poor people do is they always invest in things that depreciate. What that means is they always invest in material things like maybe a car that goes down in value. They invest in material things like maybe a nice handbag or maybe a nice pair of shoes. And they always focus on these material things that don't give them a return. Poor people always invest in that. What rich people do is invest in things that give them a return. Now, it may not be a visible return immediately, and we're going to get to that, but it's something that also gives you a return over time. So I remember one of my mentors, he bought a car. He got rich, and then he bought a Bentley. But then he was asking himself, immediately he thought, okay, well, how can I make money with this Bentley? Now, how can I use this Bentley to start making money, right? So this is how the rich's mind works. They're always thinking about, how is this going to give me a return? What can I invest in that is going to give me a return? Rich people use their earned income to generate passive income, all right? So they invest in real estate, whether it be in stocks and bonds, but they don't use their earned income to just deplete it. They use it to generate more and more revenue, more and more income. So they always invest in things that give them a return, whether it be in their personal development, in buying books, in investing in the most lucrative asset that you do have, which is yourself, in knowledge, or in other things such as Bitcoin, real estate, but always things that actually do give a return, all right? What poor people do is invest in things that don't provide them a return, that just deplete their financial status. The second thing poor people do is they're always wired for instant gratification. I want you to really think about this. If you look at your life right now, where are you wired for instant gratification? Poor people, they always expect a result now. That's why you'll see a lot of poor people just hope to win the lottery, right? This is a poor's mindset. They always want to win the lottery. But guess what? Anyone who's ever won the lottery, who's won it big, has always lost it. Most people who do win the lottery aren't able to keep that money. So remember that it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you get to keep. The reason why poor people aren't able to keep that money when they do win it is because it's an identity problem. If within yourself, your internal world is cultivated in such a way that you are poor, nothing's ever going to stick. You're going to keep falling back into your neutral level, at your identity, what you've established for yourself. Unless and until you fix the problem from the core, this will never change. You will keep attracting the same kind of relationships into your life. You will keep attracting the same kind of financial situations in your life. You're going to make money, but then somehow, bills are going to come up where you lose your money. If within yourself, you never become worthy and deserving of the wealth, you're never going to be able to keep it around. I want you to remember that. This is absolutely key, all right? So, poor people always are wired for instant gratification. They want it now, Nowadays, this modern world is wiring us for more and more instant gratification with Amazon delivery, with instant notifications. With a click of a button, you send an email without having to send letters. But what rich people do is they're wired for delayed gratification. They're used to that. They know that good things take time to come, and they have the patience to wait around for it. Their attitude, their faith doesn't change because it takes a little bit longer. Poor people don't see immediate results. They're like, fuck, this doesn't work. I'm trying all of these things and they're not working, and then they just give up. Rich people, on the other hand, they play the long game, right? So if you look at even when I first started doing the reality mastery program, when we would do the sales calls and see if people are right fit to work, if I didn't get an instant sale, I'd be disappointed, I'd be depressed, like, oh shit, I didn't make a sale, I didn't make this much money this month. But then I got reminded by my mentors that, look, this is a long-term game. This is you making something, you building something. The returns are going to compound. Poor people don't understand that. They want to see it now or never, right? So just because it's not a right time now, a person doesn't join your program now, doesn't mean it will be a right time later. So they don't take it personally. Rich people don't take it personally. They know that it is going to compound over time. This is delayed gratification. Rich people read books. A book takes around 30 to 40 minutes to actually get into the meat of the book. This is delayed gratification. Poor people want to watch TV and get that instant high. They want to eat that junk food, get that instant high. Do drugs, do anything that's compulsive, get that instant high. Rich people, they discipline themselves. They do activities like meditation, go to the gym, put themselves in pain so that they can get this gratification over time when they see the actual physical results. So the real mindset shift that rich people have over poor people is that they get comfortable in the pain, okay? They get comfortable in discomfort. They get comfort in the uncertainty. Poor people are unable to do this. This is absolutely key. If you want to become rich, you got to get to a point where you're expanding your comfort zone every single day and you're getting comfortable in the discomfort. You're getting comfortable in the uncertainty. Because guess what? It's never going to be 100% certain that you get something. Any investment that you make, there's always going to be a risk of loss. And the third thing is that poor people, what they do is they trade their time for money. I really want you to think about this, right? So back when I used to work a job, I was depressed because I saw that, well, I'm hitting a cap because there's only so much time I can give. And if I'm getting paid $20 an hour, then that's what my cap is. I can only work so many hours in the week. So if I work 80 hours a week, then that's $1,600, right? That's not nearly enough. So what really happens if I want to make $2,000 a week, $4,000 a week, $5,000 a week? It's not about trading time for money, okay? Poor people are stuck in the paradigm of, okay, I got to give my time in order to get money. Rich people get other people results for money, right? This is why you see rich people start businesses to actually solve a problem. Rich people solve problems to get money. They solve important problems for lots of people. They don't trade time for money. They're focused on solving problems. It might take you a minute to solve a problem, or it might take you an hour, right? If you look at dentists, they do a 5-minute dental work and then they get money from it. They get lots of money from it. Why? Because they're solving a painful problem for someone. A dental procedure may take 5 minutes, but the dentist can easily charge you $2,000 to $5,000 for that 5 minutes. So they're not really trading time for money, okay? What they're doing is solving a problem for you. And in return for that, you're paying for the problem to be solved. As soon as you can get into the mindset of, okay, what problem am I solving? And how much am I making from that? How painful is this problem? What's it worth for me to solve this problem? Once you get into this mindset, you get into the rich people's world, right? You start thinking like a rich person. Once you stop getting out of the mindset of, okay, no, I gotta work this many hours and I gotta earn a job, get a job that pays $50 an hour, and then only then will I earn this kind of money. You gotta get out of that mindset. You gotta get into the mindset of, okay, well, the only way to make money is to solve a problem. What problem am I even solving for my employer? The problem that I'm solving for my employer, is that worth the money that I'm making? Really think about that. Am I getting compensated accordingly to the problem, the level of problem I'm solving? If not, then you got to find a bigger problem to solve, or you got to move on from that, right? You got to start your own business. You got to see what problem you can solve, how you can help people, how you can give value to people. That's how the rich people think. Next, what poor people focus on is on win-lose scenarios, right? So this is why poor people focus on winning the lottery. They're always thinking about, okay, how can I win so I can change my situation? That's the lowest paradigm of all, the having paradigm. They're always focused on, okay, what can I have? What can I have to get me out of this poverty? What quick thing can I do to get me out of this poverty? They don't think about sustainable long-term results. They think about the quick $5,000 they can manifest right now, right? Or what's the quick lottery win that I can manifest right now? They're not thinking about how to sustainably generate that income in their lives. They're not okay with being uncomfortable and uncertain now so that they can get results later, right? So what rich people do instead is they always focus on win-win situations. They see that, okay, if I solve this problem for this customer, I'm solving a problem for a customer and I'm getting compensated accordingly. So this is a win-win, right? So poor people, what they do is they focus on win-lose situations, whether it be a win for them and a lose for someone else, or it be a win for someone else, lose for them. This is how you get into scarcity, right? So if you're solving a problem for someone and you're not getting compensated accordingly, you better make sure you get compensated accordingly, because or else it's a win-lose situation, right? Even when you're catering for someone else, you might be thinking you're doing something selfless, and you are, but it's still got to be a win for you, or else it won't be sustainable. This is when you get into the realm of power versus force. It's a great book by David R. Hawkins. I urge you to read that to really understand the subtle dynamics behind human behavior and really how the world even works. When you make decisions out of power, you start to enter higher vibration realms. When you make decisions out of force, you start to get into lower vibration energy, okay? So power is sustainable, force will always die out. So whenever you make any decision in your life, the only way to know that you're making a right decision is if it's rooted within principles of power, if it's a win-win, not a win-lose, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a lose for you or a lose for someone else. If it's a win-lose, it's not going to be beneficial for anyone. Next on the list is poor people are destroyed by temporary defeat. And this is absolutely important. This goes back to what I talked about before. When people don't see, because poor people are wired for instant gratification, when they don't see a result, they get discouraged, okay? So they can't fare being losing, and then eventually winning. I saw people who started 8 businesses, failed all 8 businesses, and on the 9th one they hit gold, right? So the only way to overcome this is to wire yourself with delayed gratification. The only way to overcome that is to really get into the mindset of it doesn't matter what happens now. I'm eventually going to get to my goal. Having complete faith in yourself that it is going to happen. Unless and until you can get into that sort of definiteness within yourself, you'll never get to the goals you want, right? You'll always be met with temporary defeat, temporary challenges and trials from the world, and you will always give in. You'll never ever get to that level of success you want to get to because you're the one that's given up. The universe is testing you, but you're failing these tests, right? You're not able to keep your faith and ground yourself within these tests, and you're getting blown away by them. So this is why poor people are never able to attain success. What rich people do is they aren't fazed by temporary defeat. They don't give a shit about temporary defeat. They look at it, they're like, learning experience. Cool, fail. They're okay with failing. They're okay with temporary defeat because they know that the battle is theirs, right? I want you to get into a mindset where you embrace failure. A lot of people, they get concerned with, what's the right decision to make here? What right decision do I make there? What's the best decision to make? Fuck that. Forget the decision you make. Any decision you make will eventually lead you to your ultimate goal because you're going to coordinate your way through it, right? It doesn't matter if you make a wrong decision right now. Eventually, you're going to get to the right decision if you have faith in yourself. Remember that a weak plan executed with a definiteness of purpose is more powerful than a strong plan executed by a indefiniteness of purpose, right? So I'm going to repeat that one more time. A weak plan executed with definiteness of purpose is much more powerful than a strong plan executed with an indefiniteness of purpose. It doesn't matter what plan you have. If you're definite within yourself and you have so much clarity on what it is you want in your life, you jump right into failure, you get through it, you use that as a stepping stone to success. Nobody ever arrived at success without first going through failure. Study the lives of people who are really successful. You will always see that they went through failure. It looks really easy for them because they make it look easy because of the level they are at now. Even when you get to success yourself, you're going to look back at your past and be like, wow, I went through a lot of fucking defeat. I went through a lot of failure to get to this point. That's the only way to learn. You've got to overcome the trials and tribulations, right? And the final thing is that poor people have shiny object syndrome. They have a lack of focus, right? So they're always jumping into all different things and they're going an inch in a million different directions rather than a million inches in one direction. If you look at rich people, they have a one-pointed laser-sharp focus, right? It's because they're so clear on their intention. They're so clear on their purpose, they stick with one thing until it actually makes it. This is what focus is. Following one course until you're successful. That's what focus stands for, right? If you follow one course and stick to it, even if it fails, you just stick to it until you do get successful. Learn to change course, but stick to one plan. Stick to one goal, right? You will know for sure when a plan isn't working, but people give up too prematurely. And they buy all of this fancy stuff and, people, what they focus on is building a fancy website and investing money in employees before they even have a business going. People who start, especially in the consulting business, coaching business, coaches want to immediately start on Facebook ads without organically getting clients. And they don't even have a proof. People want to start building a course before they've even worked one-to-one with people. They want to escape the actual pain of working with people, of really learning what makes their products work or not. And because they do that, they try to take the shortcut. Guess what? There is no shortcut. The shortest way, the shortest path is to go through the pain and not escape it. Whenever you try to escape the pain, it's going to come back and haunt you. This is a form of resistance, right? So you always got to be focused on one course. You got to make it through that one course instead of trying to take the short way, right? Rich people know this. They know that you got to be one-pointed in your focus, laser sharp, and not jump around between different things. Because now your attention, it's getting more entropy. Right? You get into more psychic entropy. You want to get to psychic dysentropy, where you're in flow state and you focus on one task until you actually achieve success with that. So with that, I conclude this video, and I sincerely hope this helped. Now, when I talk about rich people and poor people, I'm not just talking in terms of money. Remember that. I'm talking in terms of your mindset. Right? If your mindset is rich, it doesn't matter what area of your life you are tackling, whether it be health and fitness, whether it be your relationships, whether it be your finances, whether it be spirituality. If you abide by these principles and if you really understand them, success is going to be yours. Okay? So after years and years of learning all this stuff, studying the lives of people, successful people, and even studying the lives of people who have failed, these are the things that have come very, very distinct to me. Just to recap, the biggest principle, the biggest reason why poor people don't get successful is the mirror principle. Right? They see poverty, and then they use that to confirm their own internal suspicions. And then they stay in that. Because anything you're seeing right now outside of you, it's all a reflection of thoughts and attitudes you've had in the past. So poor people keep playing the past over and over, and then they keep playing Groundhog Day over and over. Rich people, what they do is they see poverty, but they ignore it. They only look for evidence that they are rich. And eventually, this is how the poor person who's conscious gets rich. But people who unconsciously get successful are always going to suffer their success. You might be wondering, well, there are rich people who don't know manifestation and all of this. And yeah, you're right. But they see their wealth and they get richer and richer because they see the wealth right now and then they confirm the internal attitude of, oh, I'm rich. And that's why they get richer and richer. This is why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So just to recap all of this, poor people invest in things that depreciate. Rich people invest in things that give them a return. Poor people are wired for instant gratification. Rich people are wired for delayed gratification. Poor people trade time for money. Rich people charge money for problems they solve. Poor people are focused on win-lose scenarios. Rich people are focused on win-win scenarios. Poor people are destroyed by temporary defeat. Rich people, they don't care about temporary defeat. They know the battle is theirs. They use temporary defeat as a stepping stone to success. Poor people have shiny object syndrome. They go in a million different directions at once. Rich people go in one direction and focus on it completely until they're successful. With that, I conclude this video. I sincerely hope that this was valuable to you, and I hope you'll implement some of this in your life. And please let me know. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of this and how you're going to apply it into your life. I'd love to know what you guys think. This was a different kind of video, but I would love to know what you think, so just leave me a comment. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. And also, I'm super excited to announce that the free one-to-one consult for the Reality Mastery program is open. And in this consult, what we're going to be doing is determining whether or not you're a right fit for the program, if I'm a right fit to help you get to the point you want to get to. Now, the Reality Mastery program is literally based on things that have gotten me systematic success in every single area of my life. And I saw that in my personal life, it didn't matter what I did, it didn't matter what I wanted, it mattered who I became. When I became the attractive version, I met my dream partner. When I became the entrepreneur version of myself, the successful, businessman version of myself, I attracted the money that I wanted. I had my, income goals. When I became the fit version of myself, I overcame my, skinniness and, genetic skinniness that I thought I was genetically meant to be skinny and gained the kind of muscle that I wanted and crushed it at the gym. When I became the studious version of myself, the 4.0 GPA version of Quazi, I attracted the kind of grades that I wanted in school. All of these areas in my life were systematically achievable as a result of who I became, not what I did. So I want you to remember that. This is what we do in the Reality Mastery program. So if you're interested, make sure you click on the link below to sign up for a free one-to-one consult to see how we can help you get to that level in your life. And also make sure you join the Facebook group. It's completely free. Just click on the link below. It's a great community of like-minded people asking great questions, growing together as a unit. Would love to have you there. So make sure you click on the link and I'll see you there. Till next time. Peace.